Hey there, folks. In some parts of the world, it's Christmas Day. You might be watching it on the day, or maybe you're watching it many days or years in the future. And today's, oh, look at that. Isn't that great? Today's puzzle is seeming to be a Christmas tree. All right, let's do it. What do we got? How do we do it? All right, let's start with the blank template and see how far we. Oh, no. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. Okay, and so let's put letters on each one of these. B for the light ones, and then C for the dark green. Okay, so now we've got that. I'm going to add the dark background color there. Each one of these has a set height. I think it's 20. 20, yeah, I think it's 20. And I'm going to set a margin, and we're going to need 3 numbers. One for the top margin, one for the bottom margin, that's the last number, and then the side margins are the middle number. So let's call it 30, 40, minus 10. That's my first guess. Not bad. I don't think it's completely right. All right. And then let's push this down. And actually, let's use one of the colors. Okay, so that's showing us the diff. 4, 5, 55, 50, maybe it's 60. 60, it looks right. And then let's have the negative margin on the bottom be a little bit more. 30, 40. And that seems to be doing what I want. Love it. Okay, so we have a few choices. We can set each successive width to be narrower, and to do that we increase the margin. So margin. Each margin is just a little bit different, so we can make this number be a calc. So what's interesting is, in theory, you can do sibling index. Sibling index times 10 pixels, and I'm not sure that's going to work. Probably it's not going to work. Yeah, it's not going to work, is it? Unless maybe let's see what we can do. Let's see if that'll do it. All right, so let's look up sibling index. So I don't think this is implemented in Chromium in the background, in the back end. Sibling index. There's MDN for sibling index. So yeah, this, it is in Safari. So those are our examples. So let's steal one of their examples. Why not? Why not do that? Comment this out. And we need the full comment. Okay, and then we're going to set a width and do a var -- width. Does it work? No, it doesn't work. But that's what we want. So instead of that, what I will do. So the idea of sibling index is it'll feed in a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or a 4 or a 5 for each one of these, and then I don't have to bother with what I'm about to do, which is each one of these is going to get its own number. So let's say we go B, C, and I'm going to change this to D and E. So okay, so we had the margins that were good. Actually, let's get those back. We had the almost good margins. Just undo. So we're going to do calc. Actually, we're just going to do var m And then the default margin for that is some number, 40, 30. There we go. Okay, so now let's adjust that number to maximize it. Is it 100, 120, 122? Okay. B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, and E. And we can set a margin. So M is going to be 40, 100, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65, 67. And then this margin needs to be way smaller. And we know that the last one is going to be 122. Because we did that work. There it is. Great. And then this one is, M is 102. No, it needs to be more, doesn't it? Yeah, it needs to be more. 142. 137. 137. So I think it's 15 between each one. So that makes this a little bit more, which would make this 142, 152. If the pattern holds. And then that makes this first one another 15 beyond 167. That's 77, 82. There it is. Well, now we have that with a not too much code. And we got a choice about how to do the colors. I feel like the var, what we want to do is and we could do calculations for this too. And there's a new syntax for if coming. So you could do that based on sibling index. Instead, what we'll do is we'll set a variable and we'll set it independently of each one. So var --c, or a default of a color. And I think we need to do this, get this color to be this one. And I guess the question next is, yeah, no, it's not really a question. I'm not really questioning it. We just need to do --c. The first color is this light color. And then that's also for D. Oh. And we need to set, don't forget your semicolons. Right. And then the next one. And that color is the dark one. And then finally for E, we do the dark one as well. So by passing in a set of things, we could also do things like even or odd, nth child, even or odd. That's another way to do it. But this is a perfectly acceptable way. And that's it. And that's an acceptable score. I'll take that score. What are our other choices? Well, we could do goofy ones. What would be the goofy way to do this? What if we just did a single paragraph and we eliminated all of these guys? There. And we set a color to be this. So what do we got now? And we want this to be 182 on the margins, and height and color. And actually, we don't need anything except 60 and 182. We don't need the minus number, I believe. Yeah, we did 60, 182. We set the color, and now we need a box shadow. So now, how many box shadows do we need? Inset. And actually what we want is a color like this. Oh, actually, we want this one. This is because this is the one we're going to use the most. The dark color has the most surface area we need to cover. So box shadow inset. Oh, actually, even better. Oh, I don't like that. Yeah. So let's think about another way to do this. So instead of background, we're going to set color. And instead of setting any of these, we're just going to set 122. And then box shadow inset 1 inch, 1 inch. And that's how we do that. Oh, and we got broken. There's the margin. Great. Okay. So for E, we need box shadow inset 1 inch, 1 inch, and color needs to be this dark color. Yeah, that's it. So they all are that. So our exceptions are what? So E is fine. We actually don't even need E because that's the thing that's the default. But we will need an A. So, okay. So box shadow will set to a var, and then a var. A shadow list, let's say, or 0 as a default, and then that'll work for us. And then I can set box shadows for, I guess we need S will be 15 pixels. Actually, it's 15 times 3. 50. So for A, I need 10 pixels, 0. Aha. And I need inset. And actually, the color that I need is this instead. Plunk. And then the default is that. Okay. No. Okay. So I'm setting. All right. I'm thinking about all this backwards. Oh, and even better. Oh, I'm sorry. This is kind of going off the rails. What's the best way to do this? Okay. So here's all right. Starting fresh. What if we did it as borders? That's actually the absolute best way to do this. We still need color. C or a default of C or default of that color. And then I need to put back what I ruined. C is that, or B is that, and then C is that. Great. And then C is this darker color. Chaos. Chaos. That's the dog barking, possibly because of cooking. And then I need to make sure we have an E attribute. Okay. So then what? We need border, solid, border inline, bar, W width or 0. And then when I set a width, I can set a number, 10, 20, 30, 40, 45. And let's do a calc of 15 pixels times, and we'll call it F for factor. And this is a factor of 3. This is a factor of 2. Oh, and something's not working right. Calc 15 pixels times var. Not working. Not working. Oh, because I changed the name of the variable. Tricking myself. There it is. And there it is. And then I guess I need to set a default of 4. And then I need a factor of 0. And then I need to set color to the dark color, because right now it's black. Semicolon. All right, so that's borders. All right, sorry, I made a mess of this. Started out strong and then wanted to do something clever. Because it's Christmas, it's fun. Christmas, it's fun to do fun stuff. Minify, replace. We got a bunch of code that we don't even need. You can see the power of an inline variable, and using sibling index, which I showed off. In theory, you could do this. The Chromium browser backend apparently is not using it. I mean, sibling index is not. It's a lot of characters, but it's also very powerful because I wouldn't have to add any of these attributes to get that number, and then I could use it just to calculation, which is a nice way to go. Yeah, and that's it. Best solution is this 651, which is all just backgrounds. You could do this, so borders, box shadows going outward, lots of ways to do this. Hope you're having a good day, taking care of yourselves. Be good to yourself, be good to each other, and go make a webpage. And for those of you who celebrate, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that stuff. See you again later. Bye.